Hey everyone, this is John with the Active Towns channel, and I am in Herne Bay, Auckland, New Zealand today. And I have a very special guest with me today. He's going to be taking me around the city of Auckland, and we're going to be looking at some cycling infrastructure. So let me turn this camera around and we'll say hi to him.
Hello.
Wait a minute, who's
Good
that?
afternoon.
I know this guy.
It is Leonard.
Hey.
Hello.
It's Leonard.
On the other side of the world.
How you doing, Leonard?
Good, good.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We have not filmed on bikes since 2022, so it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
What are we going to see today?
Well, we're going to take you on a little ride around Auckland.
Yeah.
Last time it was Utrecht.
Yep.
Now it's Auckland.
Yeah.
So you can imagine there's a few little changes.
Yeah. And apparently we're going this way.
Yeah, apparently we're going this way. It is my new home, so that's probably news for the channel.
Yeah.
I've been living here now for almost a year and a half.
Okay.
And got a little bit of a gauge on where Auckland is at in terms of cycling infrastructure, public transport, and we're going to see some of the good stuff.
Yeah.
The new stuff is very good. We're going to see some of the old stuff that's maybe not so good, and some ugly stuff. So I guess we can call it the good, the bad, and the ugly of Auckland.
All
again.
right. I love that.
And then you can contrast that with the good, the bad, and the ugly of Utrecht and see if you can spot the differences.
Yeah. I think that's what you named our tour back in 2022.
I
The
did.
Good, the Bad, and the
I
Ugly.
did. Yeah. I think I got probably some flack for calling the bad
Any of it bad. Yes.
when it was actually not that bad.
Not that bad.
It's all a matter
It's all
of perspective.
relative, right?
It's all relative. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's been Auckland's come a long way. So I've
Yeah.
been away for 9, almost 10 years, and the differences are notable.
Yeah.
And that's been mostly positive, which is great. There's a lot more people on bikes. When we left, being on a bike was a notable thing.
Right.
You would probably know most of the other people on bikes when you were riding around the city.
Yeah.
Somebody actually wrote a blog post about me and my partner riding down Ponsonby Road once.
Oh, really?
Yep, because it was that notable that there was somebody on a bike.
Yeah.
And as
Infamous you were.
yeah, that was a whole thing. And now it has normalized a lot more.
Yeah.
You see, not like Dutch numbers of cycling, but
Right.
there's always a few others around, which is nice. It's definitely gained a lot of popularity. The infrastructure has improved notably in some areas, not in others. We're going to be riding through one of the areas that probably has had the most investment recently. Hotly contested investment, but
Yeah.
nonetheless investment. And that's been really good. So yeah, we're gonna be riding some of that new infrastructure, looking at some roundabouts, obviously.
Yeah. Take a
Can't
look
go
down that
anywhere.
street.
Ooh, should we go
That's
down
the
there?
one.
Oh.
It's got lots of nice traffic calming there.
Gonna talk a little bit about traffic calming, how to make cycling comfortable on streets that may not need separated cycleways,
Yeah.
and how we used to be good at traffic calming,
Yeah.
but not so good anymore for some
Yeah.
reason.
That was a nice street too. Peeking down that one, yeah.
This neighborhood
Street
is full
trees.
of nice
Oh my
streets.
gosh.
Yeah.
So, since we're on this high street, this shopping street,
Yeah.
I've been coming up here, dining here, came up for breakfast, this little spot right over here. This is a delightful, vibrant, active street.
Yeah.
Why the hell do they have to put a stroad through the middle of it?
That is a very good question. I think the answer is the model made us do it.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot more important. I think the traffic volumes here have dropped, in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
It absolutely could do with a road diet, and it could be amazing.
I mean, it's really a shame because
it is a shame.
there's so much vibrancy and so many people here.
Yeah, you can see this.
And
really,
you've got all these wonderful outdoor cafes. Why the hell do you need? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now got a very long way to go in Auckland. That is definitely true.
Yeah.
I think one of the key challenges is having a consistent pipeline
Yeah.
of projects. There's a lot of political involvement in cycleway projects. It's become
Yeah.
a bit of a political tool, which is unfortunate. And that's why one government says yes, then the
Yeah.
other government says no, and then they start back from
Yeah.
zero. They cancel all the programs,
Yeah.
try again in 3 years. And that swing really hasn't done the city any favors, and they wasted a lot of money
Yeah.
planning, designing, and then canceling projects. And it's
Yeah.
not just in cycling, in public transport as well.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
Look at this. Yeah. I mean,
Traffic
this
calming.
this is my definition of the appropriate use of street trees.
Absolutely, smack
Yeah.
them in the middle.
Put the tree
Yeah.
in the middle. Let's make it truly a traffic calming. When we get past this tree up here,
Yeah.
let's pull off to
Yeah.
the side and talk a little bit
Have a
about
look.
this. I think
Yeah,
this is just
for sure.
extraordinary.
Yeah. It's quite a skill, quite a feat to get this in.
Yeah.
And by the age of the trees, it probably has been a few decades, 40, 50 years ago probably. But you can see how a traffic engineer was absolutely fine with putting a big island in the middle and an
Yeah.
island on the side,
Yeah.
narrowing it up completely.
Yeah.
And now they're reaping the rewards.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have calm traffic, you do have a really nice tree in the middle
Yeah.
of the street, giving
Yeah.
you a lot of benefits.
And there's several streets in this neighborhood that have similar treatments to this. Some of them are like this, some of the historic trees, but then some of them are like in the intersection up ahead that we'll see in just a moment. They're manufactured with more modern materials. And you had mentioned that we would take this street. This is a busier street, and it is a busier street. And I noticed that the one truck driver took exception to the fact that we were riding side by side. Again, that moto-normative, sort of car-brained mentality of it's okay for me and my passenger in my car to sit side by side, but it's not okay for you as a person on a bike to sit side by side, even though there was plenty of space for all of us.
Yeah, for sure. And there's no point in overtaking here anyway.
Yeah.
Because of the nice traffic.
Well, and he was going the opposite direction, so there was no. It wasn't even about overtaking.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
just
yeah.
about him needing
Making
to
a
express his displeasure
Yes.
that we were on a
Yes.
bike side by side talking to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in that sense, Auckland does still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel that Auckland drivers are particularly bad. I don't really agree
Yeah.
necessarily. I don't get a lot of aggression usually when riding a bike,
Yeah.
and definitely not as much as we used to. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think people are generally fairly courteous compared to some other
I would agree.
areas.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, just
Sure, yeah, you have a...
He wasn't overly upset, but he was like, "What are you doing?" I said,
yeah.
"Well, I'm doing what
Just
you would be doing,
Yeah.
talking with my buddy."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
anyways.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
But
Excellent.
yeah, what's interesting to me is that if you would suggest this kind of traffic calming
Yeah.
nowadays, you would probably not get it across the line because
And
people
why?
would find it overly
What's
aggressive.
yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think there is a real odd perception of risk that comes with an aggressive traffic calming treatment like this,
Yeah.
which is unfounded because the risk of not doing it is far greater.
Yeah.
The vertical upstand either side, it's very visually very narrow.
Yeah.
A car fits through absolutely fine. Like
Sure.
there's no problem with that.
Sure.
But people still think that we need clearances and
Right.
extra buffer space on either side, which negates the whole purpose of the traffic calming. So
Yeah.
we're not as... I think there's a misunderstanding of what risk means when it comes to this
Correct.
kind of traffic calming.
Correct.
And this, by all accounts, this is,
Yeah.
for me, superior over any speed table or speed bump because
Yeah.
it's
Well,
much
and
nicer.
I will tell you why I think it's superior is that I think it breaks up the visual. I mean,
Totally.
when a driver is driving down and they see a
Yeah.
big old tree in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
they're much more likely to slow down.
Yeah. There's no, I didn't see that speed bump.
Right.
You cannot miss
Yes.
this tree.
This tree. Yeah.
And that immediately, that has effect not just here, but further down because
Yeah.
there's no point in speeding up.
Yeah.
With the speed table, you just need the warning signs, you need the thing to be painted, otherwise drivers might miss it.
Yeah.
You don't need any engineering for this. Even
Yeah.
these signs on the sides are kind of superfluous. Like
Yeah.
If you see the sign but miss the tree, then you probably shouldn't be driving in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we've already noticed a big difference between here and Utrecht in the geography and the topography. You are on your little electric assist bike
I'm
here.
on my e-bike, yes.
And you were on an electric assist bike the last time, but
Yes.
you were on your family bike,
Yes,
your
yes.
front-loaded cargo bike
Yeah.
at the time. But yeah, I'm huffing along on my
Yeah,
same
you're
old
doing
Brompton.
good work.
And yeah, so it's hard work for me, but that brings up the point that, you know, especially in this environment, having a little electrical assist can really help flatten some of these hills and normalize biking for people who don't consider themselves quote unquote cyclists.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think that's what we've seen happening in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
When we left, e-bikes were still expensive, bit of a novelty,
Yeah.
misunderstanding about what they do and what they are,
Yeah.
I think. Nowadays, the default here is almost an e-bike.
Yeah.
If you're a new person to cycling, you're buying an e-bike. You're
Yeah.
not gonna worry about an unassisted bike.
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference. To me as well, I ride my bike way more than I would have if it was not an e-bike,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
We did bring the cargo bike as well.
Oh, you did?
that's
Okay,
doing,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's doing a lot of work,
Yeah.
shuttling kids to and from school.
Fantastic.
Still gets a lot of looks
Yeah,
and
yeah.
questions about, did I make that myself, which is kind
Yeah.
of flattering because
Yeah,
they think that I could, but
Yeah,
it is
No,
doing a lot
folks.
of heavy,
No,
heavy
folks.
lifting.
Leonard's not going to make that himself.
I'm not gonna make you an e-bike, no. No.
Yeah.
And I bought this here.
okay,
It's
yeah.
done
Yeah.
15,000 kilometers.
Already.
10,000 miles.
Fantastic.
Not by me, but
Yeah.
by the previous owner. And it still works like
I was
like a
going to say,
charm.
man, you've been
Yeah,
busy.
no.
18
Yeah, no, I
months,
don't ride
wow.
that much. No, but it's been fantastic. You zoom up the hills,
Yeah.
no problem at all. It has been great. Yeah. A
love
lot more
it.
reliance on my brakes, though. That's probably the one
Yeah,
thing.
for sure, for sure.
I'm getting these brakes checked a lot more frequently than I used to.
Yeah, yeah. Love
Yeah,
it.
the
Okay.
e-bike, the great equalizer.
I love it. Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
really is. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, here you go. Nice little bit of planting.
Yeah, see, this is the one I mean by,
Yeah,
you know,
no trees.
no trees, but they're using, you know, some materials
Yeah,
that they do have.
yeah. And speed tables, just for the
Yeah.
good measure. Boink. Look at that. Magnificent specimen. Now the biggest gripe is that the last government, or the current government, changed the way we set speed limits,
Yeah.
which is really unfortunate. So there used to be a 30-kilometer speed limit around this street and this school. We're
Yeah.
going to turn right in here. But the government decided that productivity, for some reason, was very important.
Okay.
And the best way to do that is to raise the speed limits. Gonna
Aha.
sneak under here. Boop. You fit.
All right.
No, we took this route, well, one, because we wanted to show the traffic calming, but
Yeah.
it's also nice. If you know the way around Auckland, there's a lot of ways to cut through some of the main arterials.
Yeah.
Avoid some of that more dangerous road typology that we've seen up there.
Yeah.
And if you are a little bit creative in where you ride,
Yeah.
you can get some beautiful scenery in as well. So
Yeah.
the attractiveness over safety
Yeah.
balance
Yeah.
becomes a little bit different.
We get a
Yeah.
little nature here. We've
Little
got a
nature.
little bit of old
Yeah.
cattle
Yeah, yeah.
farming, ranching infrastructure here. That's an old cattle chute.
It's funny, eh?
I recognize that from
Yeah.
when I lived on a ranch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, Auckland has a lot of really beautiful parks.
Yeah.
It's a very green city with a lot of natural potential and already a lot of natural assets. And they are working on merging Auckland Transport and Auckland Council
Okay.
together as one organization, which one of the benefits would be that, for example, that integration of a cycleway network with the
Right.
parks will be a lot easier,
Yeah.
hopefully, which would mean that upgrading this kind of facility to also cater for cyclists
Yeah.
will become a little bit easier. And I
And
think
this
that has
seems
huge
like this is
potential.
like low-hanging fruit.
Exactly.
Because it's, kind of already here as a footpath.
Yeah.
Could be easily widened, made more accommodating to
Totally.
people on bikes as well as people walking. Just
Exactly.
a little bit of width to
Yeah.
it, and we can do it
Yeah.
really pennies on the dollar.
It
very,
is.
very cheap
It
because
is.
you're not going through the normal hassles
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
trying to carve space away and redo sewer lines and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You don't need to remove any parking spaces.
And you don't need to remove any parking, which is a huge
Removing-
theme in this country. As we get rolling here, I'll have you just kind of chat a little bit about your new role with
Yeah.
MobiCon, because this is a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
new role for you.
Yeah, it is a new role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Let's do it.
So when I moved or decided to move to New Zealand, there was different ways to spin it or to go for it. But together with my boss in the Netherlands, we decided that it would be a cool opportunity to start a new venture.
Yep.
And instead of just moving on and finding a new employer, I decided to become my own employer and start Mobicon Pacific, which is a branch of Mobicon. So still within the Mobicon realm or family, but instead of just doing my own thing, just still having connections with the team, still being able to use the same, all the same basics as the website and the logo, and just joining the family as a branch on the other side of the world
Yeah.
has been very nice.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds, being your own boss, setting your own schedule, but still having a team to talk to,
Right.
and still being able to call in help on specific aspects if I need to,
Yeah.
and still collaborating on North American projects
Right.
has been really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's been really good. And now I've started here working for Auckland Transport and Jazzmax architecture firm on helping them shape the next generation of cycle projects, and probably the most exciting project, the new busway that's going to be built towards the northwest.
Okay.
And trying to make sure that the first and last mile connections are well integrated in the design of that busway.
Right.
So that has been a really cool opportunity. And to be honest, it's really nice to work for yourself. That is really fun. So that has been really good. Oop, there we go. As you can see, they have started widening some of these paths.
Yeah.
And there is currently a program that actually looks at doing more of that, especially through this park, which is really good. Because yeah, like you said, it is the low-hanging fruit. It is the pleasant trip. It might not be the fastest,
Right.
but taking some of those barriers away. Like that chain didn't really need to be there at the top of the path. Widening a few of those boardwalks and bridges just goes a really long way. Now, I'm not known for my enthusiasm about shared paths.
Right.
In Auckland, there is a time and a place for it.
Yeah.
But if you do it, I think the key thing is to design it as a cycleway
Yeah.
and allow pedestrians to use it.
Right.
Even though pedestrians might be the more popular mode.
Right.
If you design it well for cycling, it will also work for pedestrians. If you design it the other way around, whoops,
It may not.
it doesn't
yeah.
really work for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And that's I think the downfall that we've had with some of the shared paths, especially the more popular ones. They have really weird, design aspects that you wouldn't use, like this, for example.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
why is there no curb ramp here?
Yeah.
And
Well, and to be honest, to be fair too, I would even argue that doesn't work for pedestrians either.
no, clearly.
That's just kind of a failure all the way
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Again, that's kind of a autocentric, motonormative,
Yeah. Totally.
step of,
Yeah.
we won't even think about the pedestrian that can't necessarily step up.
Or a parent with a pram.
Yeah,
How are
parent
they
with a
gonna get
pram,
around
a
here?
person in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely no consideration.
No. And that's
But it's, I mean, and to be fair to, to the New Zealand professionals here, we see this everywhere.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this
globally,
is
this is the type of challenge that we have with motor normative designers and engineers. They're prioritizing the throughput of cars, and everything else is an afterthought.
There's no education program that teaches you this.
Yeah.
That is the weird thing.
Yeah.
We just expect people to figure this out.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
But you do need to ride a bike yourself extensively.
Yeah.
Or be taught by somebody who rides a bike extensively to figure out how those design details actually work in practice.
Right.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't expect engineers to just pick it up and roll with it. Now we're gonna go down there through that little car park.
Okay.
And then up the hill.
Okay.
And that's also not a New Zealand problem. That is even a problem in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
There's no cycleway design school. Well, except the summer school from the University of Amsterdam, but there's not even that technical, right?
Right.
I'm gonna go through here. Watch out, this is very narrow. Whoopee. So there is a program that looks at formalizing this. A project that's currently out for consultation, so that's great. Because this is a really nice link if you take some of these barriers away, right?
Right.
Going up this hill, and then you can continue on your way, avoiding all of that arterial speed that you see over there. But yeah, this would make a lovely bike route one day. It's getting better. And we'll go that way. And up the hill. So yeah, the education thing is really a pet peeve.
Yeah.
I don't know where it should sit, but it just seems like a really big missing piece.
Right.
Where we expect engineers to do one thing and then train them to do the other.
Right.
And that will forever be a problem unless we start addressing this fundamentally. So this is probably the biggest missing link in the West now.
Yeah.
Where there's a really nice cycleway a bit further up, nice cycleway a bit further down. But this gap through here is to be upgraded.
Right.
I don't know why this hasn't happened yet, but it's in the pipeline.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as you can see speed picks up, whole different environment.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's trying to find a consistent route.
Yeah.
That is safe the whole way is still a bit of a tricky topic. And you can immediately see that people will just choose to ride on the footpath.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, fine.
Yeah.
But technically not allowed.
Well, especially in this particular context.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's other areas where the footpaths are really, really crowded.
Yeah.
And so that wouldn't be appropriate. But
no.
in this context, yeah, if that's where you feel safe.
Not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Literally.
And nobody's hurting them.
This is one of my favorite types of streets to talk about.
The active streets.
Well, not that part. The part we just rode.
Oh, right.
All right, so Leonard, I'm a little out of breath, so we're pausing.
I'm not.
To talk about this street.
Yeah.
Through my huffing and puffing and heavy breathing, I had mentioned that this is one of my favorite types of streets to talk about in this context, because it's one of those widths, street widths, that can be particularly challenging given the amount that it is parked up and the amount of on-street parking that is currently being utilized, probably being cherished, and the challenge of how do we make this an all ages and abilities street that can still function and yet we can get it done politically, the political will aspect of it.
Yeah.
I will turn this over to the brilliance of Leonard Nout here now.
Put me on the spot there, John.
Yeah. How can we really, I mean, this is not unlike many other streets globally.
Yes.
Because we're doing a lot. We're parking vehicles, we're moving vehicles, we're moving buses.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we are compromising and missing out on active mobility.
Yeah.
That elderly gentleman only felt safe riding on the footpath.
Yeah. So the easiest way, right? Yeah. No, the politically easiest way, widen the footpath, make it a shared path.
Yeah.
Nobody really likes it
Yeah.
because the pedestrians don't like it, the cyclists don't really like it because it's probably not going to be designed that well.
Yeah.
If you were to design that properly, you could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
I think the solution is in the parking, because not by taking it all away, because it is a legitimate use of a street like this, I think.
Sure.
I don't think you should take it all away, but being more specific about where and how you implement it.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, there's quite a wide grass verge, which has its own merits, but is probably the only place where you have significant amounts of space.
Yeah.
If we were to maybe not have a full parking lane the whole way, but dedicated parking bays in specific locations where it was needed, then you would all of a sudden free up, well, about 4.5 meters, 15 foot across the carriageway, right? And that would give you plenty of space to do a proper cycleway. The trick here is that it would probably require you to move the curbs.
Yeah.
And as soon as you say we move the curbs, things get all of a sudden very expensive.
Very, very, very expensive.
I still don't really know why exactly, because I feel like there is a fairly easy solution to the stormwater problem, but that's maybe a little bit too technical for a on the street discussion.
Yeah.
But alternating the parking, not having 2 rows of parking the whole way.
The whole way, yeah.
Have 1 row, have a few parking bays on the left, a few parking bays on the right, a few parking bays on the left, etc. Alternating that, I think, would go a long way in creating enough breathing room.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's busy, but it's not fully parked out the whole way along. And I think that's where the space is.
Yeah.
In lieu of like not doing a separated cycleway in the verge, because that would mean more paving.
Yeah.
Less water infiltration, which is a big deal in Auckland at the moment.
Yeah.
So we don't need more paving is not necessarily the answer. I think more strategic allocation of parking places where they actually have a merit, I think would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Politically, that's still difficult because it would require removing some parking spaces.
Some parking.
So that's a problem. Especially because this one doesn't have a central median, right? Normally, if there's a flush median, that's the thing that goes first.
Yeah.
A road like this is actually fairly tight. A little bit of space in the lane width, I think, but then the parking is the key. Yeah. And maybe we can think about the paving materials, right? Because if you want to put the paving in the verge, the semi-permeable pavers.
Yeah. We certainly want to maintain our ability to have the stormwater uptake and all of that. So if we were to transform any of this into some sort of parking, we've got some bricks, we've got some other materials that allow that to happen. What about this? How can we take a street like this, and I'm putting you on the spot because we don't really have the ability to play with our street design software here, but just intuitively I look at this and go, well, there's a lot of cars parked here. How can we leverage this to at least get maybe a bidirectional cycleway on this street and have it be parking protected? And maybe that means that parking is only on one side of the street.
Well, I would say please don't do bidirectional for a safety perspective, because we have found that bidirectional is significantly less safe.
Sure.
With the turning vehicles turning, in this case, turning right across. Intersections become a lot more complicated. If you can see the intersection behind us with a bidirectional, that would be a little bit hairy. Plus, this kind of street, there's not a real reason. They're both equally, it's quite a balanced street. Land use is pretty similar either side. So I would argue quite strongly for unidirectional cycleways But that doesn't mean that you can't do the same thing. If you stagger the parking, if you can imagine parking protected cycleway on one side, parking next to it, and then for 100 meters, and after 100 meters you swap to the other side, you kind of get that same traffic calming feature that we had earlier with the tree in the middle.
Yeah.
Put one of those islands in, and the whole road just swerves from left to right, doing a little tango. The dancing. People are not going to like it.
Yeah, no.
But I think it is technically probably the most achievable solution.
One of the things that I saw in, I believe it was Christchurch, but it might have been Wellington this past week, was on a similar type of street where we had a hill. We had a parking protected lane climbing up the hill, and then basically going down the hill, you have a Shero type of situation where you're sharing the lane.
Wellington likes that. It's okay.
I mean,
you have to be a pretty confident rider to keep up with the traffic at 40, 45 kilometers an hour.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, we shouldn't have any streets in a city with this many driveways over 30 kilometers per hour.
Wow. Yes. You're right.
I mean, that should be like the baseline.
Fundamentally,
if you're not doing that, I mean, essentially,
from a physics perspective, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, to be just blunt, if you're not at least getting to an agreement that, you know, having a busy street like this with all these driveways and all these, you know, potential conflict zones and sharing space with automobiles, and you're more than 30 kilometers per hour, you're simply sending people out to slaughter.
You are not winning.
You're not winning at all.
You're not winning.
Because you're not, it's not all ages and abilities. So going back to that idea of sharing space, I'm not saying let's share the lane at 50 kilometers per hour, even 40 kilometers per hour. I am thinking like 30 kilometers per hour, like the standard of a Fietstraat in the Netherlands.
But on a downhill, that is a little bit trickier.
I know it will,
So it depends on what you're compromising for, right? If that's a compromise to keep the parking, I'm like, no, that's not a good reason to keep the parking. If that's the only thing because you're physically between a retaining wall and a cliff, maybe you have a case. But then you just have to be realistic about who's going to pick up that cycleway. Like that's going to be a 5% mode-share cycleway, not a 20. And I think your baseline network should be built for 20% mode-share.
Are we just having the wrong conversation here about trying to retain parking?
Yes. That's usually what happens. And that's like being, in my approach, I always like to make it very clear what is the trade-off that we're making. Because we can get into a lot of discussion about very fine print, but is that better than nothing?
Right.
Or is that better than a Shero? When that's not the real question that you should be asking. It's like, what are you trading off for that? And if the trade-off is a valid trade-off, sure. But the valid trade-off cannot be, as technical expert, you should not be balancing political support. That's not your job. Your job is to find the best technical solution, propose it to the politicians and say, this is in our expertise, the best technical solution because these are the trade-offs we made. And then if they say, sorry, we don't like that, you can go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what compromises should we make? Should we compromise safety? Should we compromise cost? Should we compromise speed, access, car access? What is it that and then you can come up with a better solution in that, but that's not the engineer's job. Right. Engineers should stay out of politics. Right. Unless they run for council. That's fine. The mayor here is an engineer, and
there you go.
He's had some opinions, and he's got strong opinions, which is good.
One of the things that I look at when I evaluate, you know, the potential here is I'm not anti-parking. I'm not anti-parking for a car out on a street. So long as there's the space for it, and we can hopefully leverage it to make a safer environment for people walking and biking. And when I look at something like this, that's the first thing I say is, well, is there a possibility, since it is this parked up in the middle of a day, middle of an afternoon, is there a possibility to leverage this to create a healthier, safer environment for everybody that's more all ages and abilities? If the answer is no, there's not enough space for that, and I hear what you're saying, it's probably not the right decision to do a parking protected bidirectional path here, then really kind of looking at that holistically, because that's kind of the orientation that I take with my public health background is what's going to change health behavior with people saying, you know what, that was a good experience. I enjoyed going for that bike ride with Leonard and John. I'm going to do that again.
On YouTube.
Well,
in real life.
In real life, in real life, or on YouTube, whatever. But the point is like feeling like, oh, that was a joy to ride it. I want to do that again. Then you know you've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're making progress.
Yeah. Well, I also like in that same vein. I like the way Marco te Brummelstrud talks about that in terms of flow theory.
Right.
Getting in the flow on a bike ride in Auckland is very rare.
Right.
Like I haven't really experienced that much.
Right.
A couple of short stints along some of the parks and the greenways, but we haven't reached that yet. But that's a pretty high bar.
Right.
Like that requires a lot of things to slot into the same.
Right.
So to the pieces to fall into place.
Yeah.
But that should be our end goal.
Right.
And the current, the discussion, can we get anything in or not? Right. Temporary materials, lighter, quicker, cheaper.
Yeah.
That's all good, but none of that is going to get you there.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We need an incremental approach, but if we have a really bold and big vision, then you need to back that up with the design standards and the same thing to get to that goal. And that's kind of where Auckland is now, a little bit stuck in the middle. Yeah. Where we're, on the one hand, still, there's a lot of political support, and I think, well, I'm pretty sure popular support is quite strong about cycleways. The cycling program has been very well received. Right. But then it falls apart in the technical details because the construction costs are 30% higher than the OECD average in New Zealand for some reason.
You are an island in the middle of nowhere, so
it shouldn't be so expensive. This is. It also takes a long time to build, and there's no excuse for that. So
well, let me pose this to you. I think we could be guilty of some motonormative thinking here in the first place because we started out from the premise that the right conditions for this street are trying to accommodate the parking and the flow of motor vehicle traffic as it is. It could very well be that this situation that we see currently is simply promulgated because it's easy to drive and it's easy to park for free here. And so people are doing it because it's easy to do. Whereas if we said, the real question is, with all these driveways, with all these people living here, with a high street right behind us here, with shops, maybe what we really should be thinking is how do we transform this street into a street that's for people and not a traffic sewer?
That is the $1 million question. No, that is, I wish there was an easy answer for that. I don't think there is.
And we see one of the reasons why it's not an easy answer is we just saw a bus go by. So it is a transit route too.
It is a transit route, yeah. There's a few key projects that in Auckland that show that works. Yeah. It works under specific conditions, right? Yeah. It's not a uniform thing, but in my view, that path works if you don't compromise. Right. And that's often where we get to. We start with a really lofty, high goal. Let's do this properly. Yeah. And then we start to compromise, and then we're like, but what about these guys? Maybe they can have a little bit of parking, et cetera, and then death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah. And you end up with a Frankenstein road design that nobody likes. Yeah. The Waitemata Station Plaza. If you have been here 10 years ago, that was full of stinky diesel buses. Yeah. A completely unpleasant environment, and it's now the heart of the city. Yeah. And that changed overnight. Like as soon as it opened, it was the heart of the city. Yeah. So actually physically cutting the traffic out works under the right conditions. There's 1 million people that use that space every day, so that helps. Yeah. But going big, designing it properly, going big under the right circumstances shows people that this is possible. Yeah. We can have nice things. Yes. And they will change their behavior because we're just humans. We're not different from Dutch people. We don't have different DNA. Yeah. It's just the fishbowl looks different that you're surrounded by. So you think that this is the norm. Yeah. Like you said,
we think it's a motonormativity thing.
And that's and coming from the Netherlands here with that different lens has really helped me to try and frame that discussion. But it's also at the same time, it's a hard sell. Yeah. Like, trust me, it'll work. Yeah. It's not really gonna work. So that's why it's really exciting to see the next project that we're gonna cycle down. Yeah. Which in my view is the best least compromised cycleway solution that Auckland's ever seen.
Yeah.
Has been a long process and very expensive,
Yeah.
because it included sewer renovations, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
But the uptake of that has been insane, and it's already outpaced projected cycle volumes in 2035 or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't pin me down on the numbers, but it's way more popular than anybody had anticipated.
Well, and you said the magic words there in terms of, it was a full-on utilities redo, street redo with the underground utilities and everything, because that could also happen here. If for some reason this ends up needing to have complete re-uptake and redo of all the underground utilities, we might even be able to get the overhead wire utilities.
Overhead wires do my head in.
Boom, boom, boom. And we can, if we suddenly have the ability to completely redesign this into a truly people-oriented street, who knows? And I want to point out too, I don't want to throw the bus under the bus sort of thing. Is the fact that one of the most delightful streets that I profiled in London is the Mini Holland project, Orford Road, in Waltham Forest, which happens to be a transit street. And so the bus does roll through there, but other than that, it's a traffic calmed environment, and you just see families enjoying that environment, and it's quite delightful, even when it has a bus roll through every once in a while.
Totally, and that is absolutely feasible.
Yeah.
If you've been on Queen Street, that has slowly turned into basically that, with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And Queen Street is very calm.
Yeah.
Because those cars are out of there. Pedestrian numbers are still going up. Everybody says, "Oh, Queen Street's not doing well," but if you actually look at it, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
It looks pretty humming, and that's only going to get better as we transform that into an even higher quality street. Right? It's not just about who you let in, but it's also how you design for it. What kind of textures do you use? Do you use the black asphalt everywhere?
Right.
Or do you do something more human scaled, something with a little bit more detail?
Yeah.
All those things help shape it and actually upgrade the city, and not just accept streets black asphalt, so that's what it always be. No, we need to think more from an urban design lens. What makes this place nice?
Yeah.
And that would be get the traffic engineers out of the traffic engineering and let the urban designers do it.
Since you brought it up, we gotta address the black asphalt everywhere. That's got to be one of the things that's been most jarring to you, moving from the Netherlands, moving from Utrecht, where all of those kind of shared street environments, whether they're the Fietsstraats or the ETWs, they're all this wonderful either red tarmac or red brick, sending a clear message to the drivers that, hey, this is a 30-kilometer-per-hour zone or less. Slow down. It's really hard.
It's really hard.
Everything looks the same.
Exactly.
It's all black asphalt, whether it's traffic calmed with trees or not.
Yeah. That the visual cue of the type of pavement should never be underestimated. And that's something that hasn't really passed here yet. At least here you have concrete footpaths, but that's also not a given, because there's a lot of places around Auckland that have black asphalt footpaths, which really does my head in. But that material distinction is massive. And there's no pathway forward towards that, because it is, it's an expensive industry to kickstart.
Right.
Bricks and laying them properly.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get some innovation in our street design soon to explore at least how we can make that work. Because we have it. If you look closely, there's some small cul-de-sacs and some little areas that have really nice paving, proper brick pavers, and I'm like, we need more of that, please. But that's
I saw some wonderful examples of that in Christchurch the past few days, of just wonderful pavers in the areas, curbless designs of streets that are really Wooner style, shared street style. No notes.
We can do it.
We can do it. Yes.
It's just too seldom that it gets all the way through to construction. And there's a lot of, it's like the Swiss cheese model, where you have to just have the right person at the right time, with the right project manager, the right budget, the right political climate to get it through. And it's just too often that we at some point just give up. you know what? Just make it black asphalt.
Let's address the thing that people are shouting out at the screens right now. It says, "Oh, yeah, but that paving there in Christchurch, that was just way too expensive. This is too expensive to do." That's just BS. I mean, all of this stuff, this talk about making streets for people is too expensive. Again, it's pennies on the dollar compared to what is spent on automobile infrastructure.
It is pennies on the dollar. The first one is expensive, sure. But all the other ones that follow are going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper until it's basically on par.
And expensive is in air quotes because it's not truly expensive.
True. No, it's not true. And if you look at the total life cycle cost benefit, it is massive because this also needs repaving every few years, especially with buses going on it. It melts in summer. The chip seal that we have now, because it's cheaper, is dreadful for cyclists, for windshields, for people that walk around because rubbish just or like little pebbles get shot up everywhere.
And the overall cost, return on cost, the overall ROI on active mobility infrastructure is massive.
Massive,
massively
consistently
better
scoring
with that.
way higher than anything you can do for a car.
Yeah.
And the bricks, they last 135 years. Right? And if
folks.
they rub off 135 years, if one side gets a little bit damaged, you flip them around. That's the beauty. And you don't need to take them to a factory to get them refurbished. Somebody just picks it up, flips it around, and puts it back down. Easy.
Oh, but Leonard, I got to get into the cable underground.
Excellent.
Guess what? Super easy to do.
So here's a little anecdote. When we moved out of Utrecht, like 2 months before, they put in fiber internet in our street. I left in the morning to go to work. I left at like 8 o'clock. They were digging up the street. 2 guys and a tiny little mini digger. When I returned at like 2 o'clock, they had already finished doing the entire street. Here we moved in, and within weeks they started replacing the footpath. Still not quite sure why, because it doesn't seem to be a problem. But, which involved 3 traffic lights to manage the traffic on a very calm residential street that doesn't go anywhere. Then 3 people next to the traffic light to control the traffic lights, which I still don't know why. And then a row of concrete trucks just pouring in a new curb, and then another row of concrete trucks to pour the new asphalt that they had built a box. It took 8 or 9 weeks for one stretch of footpath. And every day I was amazed at, are you still here?
As a Dutchman, were you like,
what are you doing?
Give me my bricks, give me my sand,
come on,
give me
let's
my trowel,
go.
I'll do it.
It will be, it would take a day or 2. It's
all right. We've been
nuts.
beating up on them enough. Let's go look at this next street that you're so excited about.
Let's look at the nice street. Yes,
okay.
The good one. West End Road. So it's going to stay here. Hey, come on. Look at that.
This is nice, Leonard, except for
nice,
it's too narrow. I can't ride side by side with you.
That's true. We're still no building for that.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go around the roundabout, eh?
So this is a roundabout, huh?
Let's see how it goes.
All right, let's see how they do here. All right, we got to pull to the side and give the Leonard Nout treatment here. Whenever you're ready.
Brutal honesty.
Okay, Mr. Roundabout, your assessment.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Infinitely better than a traffic light.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yep.
It was a pretty fluid thing. I still think they could have gotten it a little bit tighter.
Right.
We had to go quite a bit out of our way to turn.
Sure.
And that kind of made us an unexpected crossing for the person driving the car. Like they couldn't anticipate well enough. They were like, "Oh, are they going to go or not?"
Right.
It really requires cyclists and drivers to indicate well, which is not something drivers are known for.
Right.
Center Island, I appreciate it probably needed a significant bus turning circle, but is a little bland.
Sure. I think let's put a statue of maybe a Dutch cyclist or something up there.
That would be cute.
Or a Kiwi of something. You know.
That would be nice.
Put something up there.
Something in there. Yeah, you can see here they left 2 car spaces in front of the crossing, right? So
Well done.
I would always argue 1 is enough, because then you can see that the desire line is basically to here, and that saves you going down the hill to go back up the hill. And that's just one of those things that would be nicer. Also the double entry lane. Is it necessary? I doubt it.
Yeah.
Maybe in the peak of the peak of the peak, but you know, that's never really going to happen.
I would be more definitive and say no, it's not necessary.
Well, the traffic model, John, the traffic model made us do it.
Again, I mean, I want to re-emphasize exactly what we're talking about when we talk about these traffic models, is that given that assumption that we look at what current traffic levels are, and then we're trying to project out, and we're doing these models, again, the wrong thing to be doing, folks.
Yes.
Stop
doing
take
that.
a deep breath. Think about what you want to achieve with this street. Do you want it to be an all ages, all abilities street that's safe for everyone?
Look what the bus does.
Then redo this. Got it.
Right, so the bus treks all the way over to Center Island. I have not seen that, so that makes sense that there's no Kiwi statue in the middle. But yeah, back to the traffic models. Traffic models are consistently bad at predicting the future. The traffic model, and this is a study by traffic modelers, shows that there's like a 40% plus or minus uncertainty factor in any traffic model. So if a traffic model says it's going to have 10,000 cars in 2030, you can be absolutely sure that it's not going to be that. It could be anything else, but not that. And it's based on so many bad assumptions that are proven to be wrong. And yet we still keep relying on it instead of asking, like you said, what do we want from this street? Not what do we maybe think that somebody might need in 2065? It's infuriating that we still put so much emphasis and spend so much money and time on trying to work that out, because that's just completely irrelevant. Like
we'll come back to the traffic circle in just a moment, and we'll talk a little bit about a comment that you just made in terms of it's infinitely better than having a signal here. But before we do that, since I've got in the backdrop here behind you is what we just rode down. Critique that a little bit. It's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
How could it have been better?
It's all quite consistent. There's a lot of transitions, up and down on the footpath, back shared path, dedicated cycleway. Like you said, it could have been a little bit wider. It still has...
Let's linger on that for just a second, so that people really understand why. I'm not just being picky here by saying it should be wider. It literally should be wider. Think of a parent riding with a child. They should be able to comfortably ride side by side and still have enough room for another person to pass. We have to keep that in mind. We have to think about making our lanes, our cycle, our active infrastructure wider, especially when you do a complete redo of a street like this, because you're not going to come back and do it later.
No. And the thing that bugs me here is that it still looks like a retrofit. Right? And it was like partially retrofitted, so they kept some bits of the curb to value engineer it as much as possible. But if they would have done it a full reconstruction with parking bays, driveways that extend all the way to the edge of the cycleway and not drop into the cycleway, then you have a really integrated permanent solution, and not something that, even though it's brand new, still looks retrofitted and it's not going to age that well. And I think that's one of my other issues with the way where we're headed currently under current funding models. Is that we don't have enough money to do it properly. Which means that the temporary cheap solution is slowly creeping in to be the best possible outcome. And that means we lose sight of what it could look like if you actually rebuild it, like for example down here. And we think that that's never achievable anymore, because a cycleway is expensive now, but it's maybe the most expensive it's ever been, but it's also the cheapest it will ever be, right? Prices are not coming down unless we do something drastically different.
And let's be clear, when you say we don't have enough money, it's because we're choosing to fund automobile infrastructure expansion.
All the time.
All the time.
Consistently, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I just had Chuck Marone on to have a live stream to talk about their new initiative with Strong Towns of saying enough is enough. We need to stop, dumping trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars into the expansion of highway capacity and motor vehicle capacity.
Pete Buttigieg said it quite nicely. He says it's time to start depaving. Because we have too much. I think that would be a really nice call for a progressive government to say enough pavement in the world. We don't need any more. If you want something extra, take something out. Because it's also not like maintaining all this pavement is free.
Correct.
And that is
it's a long-term liability.
And all these oversized extra width roads. If we take 10% of all of those streets, let's first
reimagine them and make sure that we have safe and inviting all ages and abilities facilities on them. And if we're still oversized, then let's depave them. And in fact, we can strategically depave. In fact, one of the things that I love about what we have in the backdrop here is rather than just having paved over all of these things, we actually have some rain garden treatment here. And this is exactly what we need to be doing everywhere is reduce that heat island effect. Let's add some green elements. Yes.
Yeah, totally. And Auckland's getting better at that. I think the recent storms have become a real eye-opener.
Right.
That we're not immune to climate change. And that's only going to get worse. So we need to start thinking about the way we deal with water. So there's a lot of initiatives going on to make more space for water, re-daylight the streams that have been culverted over, and create more permeable space in the street cross sections to make sure that we can infiltrate more, because it's really expensive to build your way out of that one.
Okay, let's return to the intersection. Let's return to that blasphemous statement that you made about this is better than a signalized intersection. I hate signalized intersections. I hate intersections with stop signs. Tell me why you don't like the signalized intersections compared to having this.
So the key reason, I think, what I've been looking at these for a long time, and I think the key reason is that it changes the way people interact with each other from some guy in an office decided that I needed to stop, so he turned my traffic light red, to there's a person crossing the road, so I will have to wait and give way to them. It becomes way less abstract and way more, I know why I'm stopping because somebody else is going, and we can't be in the same place.
These are fighting words right here. You're actually asking us as drivers in our hermetically sealed cocoons to try to interrelate with other individuals in their hermetically sealed cocoons.
And guess what? They do.
Wow.
But they only do if you bring the speed down. Because you can't do this at 50 kilometers an hour.
And that's why you and I both harp on this all the time, is looking at these angles and these swooping designs. It's like, are we getting the design speed right? Are we getting the approach right? To be able to bring that speed down so that when you do have a driver, it's unfair to a driver to have an approach where it feels comfortable driving 40, 50 kilometers, and then all of a sudden you have a 10 kilometer, 15 kilometer, design speed at your traffic circle.
Totally.
Your roundabout, whatever you want to call it.
And in this case, it's fairly compact. So it could be better, could be more compact, could be a little bit sharper angles, especially here in the front. The thing is that people, as soon as they're out of the roundabout, and I think you can see it well on that side, they start accelerating, right? And that's why the placement of the pedestrian crossing in relation to the exit from the roundabout is key. If you've started accelerating, your field of vision narrows, and you're going to look way further ahead. You're less likely to look sideways. And sure, it's only 6 or 7 meters, but cars can accelerate quite a bit in those 6 or 7 meters. And it's more about where, as a driver, you put your attention. Like you're starting to focus again, and that changing that by bringing it all further in,
Yeah.
slows down cars. Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah.
Slows down cars exactly at the point where the danger is the highest.
Yeah.
That's at the pedestrian and cyclist crossing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always harping on about bring it closer, bring it in.
Yeah.
All the intersections, all the intersection and exchange stuff is happening in one place, not too far apart, because people just go like, all right, I'm gonna hit the gas, I've passed the roundabout, and I'm all good.
Yeah. And we're seeing
See
the results. Yeah, we're seeing the results
Yes.
of, we've created an all ages and abilities
Yes.
facility here. We've got youngsters that are getting around by bike, by themselves. That also over there, that crossing over there is also a raised crossing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this is beautiful. This is really well done. It's not perfect, but then again, there is no such thing as a perfect project.
No.
So,
And it shouldn't be, it doesn't have to be a Dutch style roundabout.
Yeah.
Auckland needs to find its own design language and its own design paradigm that works in the context. And I think this is getting fairly close.
Yeah.
And with a few more tweaks. But yeah, you see 8, 9, 10-year-old kids.
Yeah.
You would not have seen this before this went in.
Right.
And that is the next generation coming through. And helping save the world.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, folks, this is exactly the reason why we harp on this, and the details do matter, is that, again, it doesn't have to be a carbon copy of what we see in the Netherlands. I would prefer that it be less,
Less black
indirect.
ash yes.
One of the great things about, being in, a roundabout situation in the Netherlands as a cyclist is it feels more like a squareabout for the cyclists and a roundabout for the motorists, and you really are flowing through. It's that flow state that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Even through the roundabout, you can
even through the roundabout.
Relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Leonard Nout on the streets of Auckland, New Zealand. And if you did, please, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and share it with a friend. And if you haven't done so already, I'd be honored to have you subscribe to the channel. Just click on that subscription button down below and ring that notifications bell. And again, if you're enjoying this content here on the Active Towns channel, please consider supporting my efforts by becoming an Active Towns ambassador. Hey, super easy to do right here in YouTube. Just click on the join button down below. You can also leave a YouTube super thanks for this particular episode, or you can navigate over to activetowns.org, that's my website, and click on the support tab at the top of the page. There's several different options, including making a donation to my nonprofit, Advocates for Healthy Communities, which helps pay for a lot of the pro bono work that I do for cities, as well as my travel. And you can become a member of my Patreon. Patrons do get early and ad-free access to all this video content. And this is a wonderful opportunity to send a huge thank you to all my Active Towns ambassadors around the globe supporting this channel financially. I simply could not do this work without your support. Mahalo nui loa. Well, until next time and part 2 of this tour, this is John signing off by wishing you much activity, health, and happiness. Cheers and aloha.